Hi folks, and welcome to Schick Happens. In today's episode, I'm going to try to repurpose or utilize some of the scrap poplar I had left over from a recent project. It was a gun-safe topper. I made a video on it, and this is basically what was left out of the boards. I don't like letting anything go to waste. I have no idea what I'm going to make out of these, but I'm pretty sure I'll think of something. Just something, even if it's a simple shelf or a little storage cubby, anything, maybe a birdhouse. But I certainly don't want these scraps to go to waste. So that's what I'm going to work on today in this episode of Schick Happens. Stick around. But before I get started on any of this, I just turned the heat on in the barn. It was only about 38, 39 degrees in here, and I want to take the edge off a little bit before I get going on these projects. So I think what I'm going to do is, while this barn is warming up, maybe I can get Lori to buzz my hair. Give this place about an hour to get to room temperature. I'll be back. What do you think? Feels good having all that nappiness gone. Of course, I'm going to have to adjust my hat. A couple of these wider boards, right at 12 inches. Got a crack in them, and they are full of wormholes. But again, I don't want these to go to waste. And I think these wider boards, I got a space back here that is being unused. And I really would like to find a spot for those empty egg cartons. So I think I'm going to try to get just a quick shelf built utilizing one of these wide boards to put up there to stack empty egg cartons. My objective here isn't to make anything look pretty, just useful, using this scrap wood. So that'll be the first project, I think. Alright, all I did was just clean up the edges in this just a little bit. 29 inches wide, it's going to be about 11 inches deep. I just need to come up with something to attach this to the wall. It doesn't have to be fancy, nor does it have to support a lot of weight. I can't imagine even putting 100 egg cartons up there is going to weigh more than a pound. Again, I'm not in it for looks, I'm just looking at it for functionality. So I think I'm going to somehow get some braces on the back of this, and I don't know, maybe put a couple support ends in. And this might be a perfect job for the Craig jig as well. I think now I'm just going to take this board and cut 2 triangles at 45 to put at the ends here for braces. I'll just go ahead and trim these off just to give it a little bit cleaner look. That ought to do it. I'm just going to put a couple, maybe drill 3 holes in here, pre-drill some holes, get some 3-inch screws and a level, and get this up on the wall. All right, that ought to do it. And I even have some space here, or maybe I can put some small hooks here to even hang more stuff to utilize more space up here. But again, nothing pretty. I'm just using up that scrap wood because I don't want it to go to waste. All right, that's all I got left out of those first few boards. I'm a little bit happier with this scrap by having that. So, trying to think of what else I can get out of the rest of this here that'll serve some value or function. This annual 2020 calendar is just stapled there. I think maybe if I drop that down right to the workbench, it'd give me a nice space up there to put another shelving unit right here. Just a plain Jane shelving unit, just to give me a little more space up there to store things. Let's work on that next. Maybe 23 inches wide by a foot in height. That ought to do it. Looks like my narrowest board here is 3 7/8. So maybe I'll just set the table saw fence up at 3 3/4 and rip a few of these all down to the same size to get started. Alright, I got the two top sections at 23. I want to go 12 inches deep, but I can't cut these boards at 12 inches. I got to make up for that distance. I believe these are 3/4 inch. Just a little over 3/4 inch, so I got to deduct a little over 1.5 inches from 12 inches for my height of this. I think instead of 10.5, I'm just going to go 10 1/4. Just to make sure I can get that calendar to fit underneath. And like my previous project, I'm going to go ahead and use this Craig jig. Put some pocket holes in here and tighten her up. Alright, I briefly thought about putting a middle shelf in here. And I could certainly do that, but I think instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a cleat in the back of here so that I can screw this up on the wall. And then in the front, I think I'm just going to tack a small lip on there. And I think I'm going to use this for cans instead. I still have this piece left here from ripping these boards down. And I think if I rip 1 1/4 inch off on here for the lip on that, there'll be a good solid 2+ inches to give me a cleat to fasten to the back of this so I can hang it up on the wall. Alright, I got a nice tight fit on this, so I'm going to pop this back out, put a couple more pocket holes in there with screws, and then I'll tack on the front little lip. I think that'll do the trick. I'll just get a couple screws in here and get them mounted on the wall. That's what I had left out of that little batch. It'll be good starting firewood for my wife's little campfire that she has. Pile's getting smaller, but I'm pretty sure there's some other things I can do with this. Just need to think on it for a minute. I can tell you it's starting to get warm in here again. I had to turn the main heater off. But I think what I might do with some of this now is make a birdhouse. Yeah, I'm going to go 9.5 out, just so there's a little overhang. And then I think I'm going to I want a little overhang on the side. So I'm going to do 5.5 on this side, and then I got to do 6.25 on this side to make up for that distance there. So I'll go ahead and get these cut. Alright, now I just got to get a bottom tacked on. And we got ourselves a birdhouse. This piece I had left from the shelving unit up there. And this will make a perfect piece to go on the back of this birdhouse. I'll probably put some 1.5-inch screws in here. And then this will give me a good way to hang this here in the next month or two when I get my other birdhouses up that I'm going to build. Well, I say we're doing pretty good so far utilizing this pile of scrap wood. This is about what I got left. Wonder what I can make out of this. I do have another idea for this remaining wood. I'm not going to get to it today, but one thing I am going to do is I'm going to cut this board in half, and I'm going to do a glue up to get one nice wider board out of this strip. And I might have enough to finish this little project I want to work on. But I'll get to that in another video. Well, I believe this video is just about wrapped up. I know that because I can hear a beer calling my name. But I just wanted to put this together to show you if you have a large project that you worked on and you have some leftover wood, before you scrap that, see if there's anything you can do with that wood that you can use down the road. In today's video, I made a couple shelves and a birdhouse. I just don't like throwing wood away. I'll use every last little piece I can if I think it will come in handy for a project. Hence this video. But if you do enjoy this video, please like it, share it, and if you haven't already, please subscribe.